Not only did they save his life, they treated my mother with great kindness and respect. I wanted the department to know that the team did a fantastic job. I cannot imagine the pressure they must be under during some of the calls they have to make. If I'm ever in need of emergency help, I hope they are the team that responds. And then she goes on to say something very touching. She said, "Thank you seems so inappropriate for saving someone's life, but that is all I have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep up the great work." Wow, what a tribute, really.
You got a great bunch of people working for you.
I know. We're so blessed here in the township. Is there anything else that I have from the fire services?
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Any comments from the board regarding the chief, assistant chief, fire department?
No, I don't have anything other than thank you and collective pat on the back for the personnel.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the April crime report update. Last week, I met with Sheriff Davis to discuss the state of police protection in Orange Township. I first reviewed the crime reports we had received thus far. I noted that I would like to have the day of week and time of day information on the reports. And the sheriff said he'd make sure I get that information on future reports. Gentlemen, you should all be in receipt of the latest April Orange Township crime report. With regard to the current report versus the March crime report, while talking to Sheriff Davis, I noted the sharp increase in the number of adult arrests. March saw 15 adult arrests, while April saw 69 adult arrests. Sheriff Davis said that much of that increase could be attributed, perhaps, to an increase in traffic warrants, and he would check into that. If so, that means we're enforcing the traffic laws in our township with increased vigilance, and I believe that's a good thing. I inquired about the 8th deputy that we were promised. He said he still had a couple of officers in training, and they would be finished their training sometime between mid to late June. At that time, we would get a seasoned officer and not one of those in training. We also discussed a couple specific problem areas in our township. We're still working on them. One is purported speeding along Westwood Drive. The other's at our new Glen Oak Park, where a four-wheeler is damaging the grading. Also, too, Sheriff Davis asked if he could come to one of our trustee meetings to give us an update on the state of protection in Orange Township. I said I planned on it. And so Sheriff Davis will be coming to our June 7th meeting. I'm making note of that. And once again, our meeting was very cordial and I would say very productive. Any comments or thoughts from the board?
That's a quick question. Looking at this report on the repeat call for service validation, it says Meyer and United Dairy Farms had combined 4 gas drives off yet, and the calls for service is 0.
I didn't see anything.
I was just curious what the matches are or how they're doing these reports.
Don't know, I can check into it.
Okay. Just wanted to ask.
Now, when you say no incidents, where are you?
Well, you look at page 3 under gas drive-off.
Gas drive-off says
0.
Yeah.
And if you look at Meyer and United Dairy Farms, it's total 4. So I was curious.
Don't know. Check.
Right.
Y4 on page 2. All right.
That was the one I noticed. I don't know if the other ones match up.
Yeah, no, that one's pretty, kind of stands out. Okay. Let's see here. It is now 17 after 7. We're moving along at a good clip. I guess we need to get to the park report.
Wow. A little hesitant there.
Yeah, I guess so. So with that, let me turn things over to our park liaison, Rob Quigley.
Great, thank you.
What we're saying here.
The first item on the agenda is the Park Enterprise Construction Company pay request number 4 for $68,291.60. This is for Glen Oak Phase 1 work that's been done. Is there any questions? No? I'd like to make a motion to authorize a release payment on the Glen Oak Phase 1 project for Park Enterprise Construction Company Incorporated in the amount of $68,291.60 for pay request application number 4.
Second. Mr. Quigley?
Yes.
Mr. Cassidy?
Yes.
Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is approval of Glen Oak Park Phase 2 project manual, which I believe has been set out there for a couple of days now for your review, and if everybody got a chance to look at it, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Overturf.
This is the last phase of Glen Oak, and basically what we're going to do is build the buildings, erect the bridges, and erect the shelters for the park itself. So it's pretty well done. Phase 1 should be over in the next 20 days. It doesn't rain every day. This particular phase, once we get through, is scheduled to start on June 18th or so. We would like to go out for bid and get trustee approval to go out for bid on the 20th, which would be this coming Thursday, and then have bids come back in opening on the 11th of June, and try to set up an approval date, and that date can be discussed whether it's special meeting on the 16th or whether it's a regular meeting on the 21st, I believe. This project would be completed in September 30th, just in time to be able to get everything seeded and ready and wrapped up, because we'll do our seeding in phase 1, virtually the whole project, but we'll tie in what we need to do in September to finish up for the next year's really opening. It's a different kind of project. First project was basically an excavator. This will be a general trades contractor because there's more construction, building, and those kind of things. So, completely different kind of entities.
So one of the questions, well, first off, does anybody have any questions regarding it?
I don't have any. I wonder if you could, in general, tell us some of the major amenities that will be completed as a result of phase 2. Some of the major amenities.
Well, the project itself will be completed, and those amenities lead to a restroom, typical of the size that we normally have at Row. Plus, we've extended the portico out front, which will shelter a little bit more, and that will face the playing field. So there's more shelter than we normally have. Like Row, we have about twice as much. We've changed the restrooms a little bit to give us a little bit more space for the utility areas, which is a plus. The bridges will be completed. We have 2 bridges that go to an island on the pond, and that island's already in place. It's just waiting for the bridges to come in right now. And we're also putting 2 shelters in. We have a shelter of 20 feet by 20 feet, and it's taking the place of the gazebo. The price differential between a 20 by 20 gazebo and a 20 by 20 shelter was almost twice as much for the gazebo. And so we decided that it would be better to spend the money elsewhere than doing that. It gives it a 20 by 20 feel to it, and it'll open up to the sitting area where there's a sitting area near the pond to be able to do it. We also have another shelter, which is just to the south of the playing field. And that particular shelter is 33 feet by 44. With an outline like that, and that's similar to the shelter, 30 feet by 44, similar to the shelter that we have at North Orange Park or at Row. It's just it's that particular size, so groups can go there and be able to do that. But total park, the unique thing about the park is it's one with it's a pond, and also have the skating area that we've devised, an area across there where we've dammed it up. We have flow valves going across so the water can keep flowing, and then in the winter we'll shut those off, pump out a certain height and come back down to the skating. One of our, I think one of the nicest things that we will have will be a sledding hill. This will be a real sledding hill, and I think it will bring great enjoyment to the community. We're kind of proud of that hill right now, the way it shapes and whatever else. So it's a unique case. Now, one of the things that's a little bit different than this is that we're going to have to put a septic